Good morning, students. Today we will study chapter 1 of computer. This is of class 4, lesson 1. That is storage and memory devices. See, first all have to open their books. You have to read from the book and then you have to watch this video. Otherwise you will not understand anything. Okay? So first topic that is given in your book is data and information. Now you are going to study about storage and memory devices. You might be knowing what are storage devices. You have also studied in class 3rd. Storage devices are used for storing the data. And memory also, you know, in all computer there is one memory which stores the information. Like in your homes you are having so many racks and all for storing the things. So like that in computer, for storing the data of the computer, memory is used. And this memory makes the storage devices of the computer. Now we will study in this chapter about different types of memory. What are different types of memory? What are different devices which are used to store data in the computer? Now first we should know what is data and information. Now what is data and information? Whatever we store in the computer, like numbers. It can be numbers, it can be alphabets, or it can be any symbols. It can be any video, audio, pictures. So whatever information we store in the computer, that can be in the form of numbers, alphabets, any kind of symbols, or video, audio, or pictures, this all is known as data. And what is information? The processed form of data is called information. When the data is processed, that becomes the information. Data is raw, fact and figures. Means this is not the processed data. This is raw fact and figure. And when we process the data, when it is useful for someone, that is called information. You can understand this from example. Now I will tell you one example about data and information. Like you have seen tailor, when you buy the cloth, that cloth is your data. When you buy any cloth from the market, that cloth is your data. And when you give to tailor for stitching, and after that you get your dress, that is your information. So you can understand data like this only. The raw facts and figures in the computer, that is your data. And when we process that, that becomes information. Like I have told one example, like if the clothes, that cloth is your data. And after that you get your stitched dress, that is your information. Now next topic given in your book is data storage units. Now in computer we store data in form of some units. So we will study that. Now what are data storage units? The smallest unit in the computer in which we store data, that is called bits. Okay. Now what is this bits? Computer understands only one language, that is binary language. Computer understands only binary language. And binary language has only 2 digits, 0 and 1. And this 0 and 1, this is called bits. Okay, this is 1 bit, this is 2nd bit. So computer understands only binary language and it has only 2 digits, that is 0 and 1. And this 0 and 1 is known as bits. And 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. When we write this 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is bit 1, this is bit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we write 8 bits together, together it forms a byte. So these are the storage units of the computer. In bits and bytes, data is stored in the computer. Like this 1024 byte is equal to 1 kilobyte. After kilobyte, megabyte is there. 1024 megabyte is equal to 1 gigabyte. Like this you can see in your book also. It is given. These are the memory sizes. Like 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, 1024 bytes is equal to 1 kilobyte, like this. The smallest storage unit is bits. After that, the largest one is terabyte. 1024 gigabyte is equal to 1 terabyte. After that, petabyte is there, exabyte is there, zettabyte is there, yottabyte is there. These are the largest storage units of the computer. And the smallest storage unit of the computer is bits, and it comprises of 2 digits. 0 is 1 bit and 1 is another bit. Now you will study about types of memory. Now you can see in your book types of memory you are going to study. Now types of memory. So already I have told that memory is the storage part of the computer where we store data. This memory is divided into 2 parts, primary and secondary. And one thing more, you have to read this. First you have to read the book, then only you will understand what I am telling. Now first one is primary memory. Memory is of 2 types, primary memory, secondary memory. Primary memory is also known as main memory or internal memory. There are 2 names of primary memory, main memory, internal memory. And secondary memory is also known as external memory or auxiliary memory. Secondary memory also has 2 names, external memory or auxiliary memory. Now first we will study about primary memory. What is primary memory? Primary memory is small memory. It is fast and it stores less data. And primary memory is again divided into 2 parts, RAM and ROM. So this is the main feature of primary memory. It is small in size, means it's not very large, it's small memory. It is very fast and easy, we can access the data in primary memory. Because it is small, that's why it is very fast and very easy to access the data in the primary memory. And it stores only less amount of data, means it's very small memory. Secondary memory is a large memory and it is little slow than primary memory and it stores large amount of data. Secondary memory can store very large amount of data, means it is very big memory. Primary memory is small memory, that's why we need secondary memory. Because in computer all the information we cannot store in primary memory. It is very small. So store more information, we use secondary memory because it is large. So if you have to store large amount of information in the computer, we extend the memory and we use secondary memory. Now primary memory has 2 types, RAM and ROM. RAM stands for random access memory, and the shape of RAM is like this. This is your RAM. You can see from your book also, and the full form of RAM is also given in your book, random access memory. This RAM, random access memory, it stores data only for a small time, and when the computer is switched off, all the data of the RAM is lost. ROM stores data permanently, means once you store data in the ROM, you cannot erase that, and it stores data which we need when we on a computer. It is also responsible for opening your computer. When you on your computer, the instructions for opening your computer, that is also stored in the ROM only. And in ROM, you cannot change the data. Once whatever you have stored, it will be permanently saved. But in RAM, the data keeps on changing. Once you store another data, then you erase, then again you can store next data. It is like, you can see, it is like blackboard. Like I have written something here. This is your RAM memory. I have written something here. Now again I have erased. Now again I am writing another thing. Now again I have erased. Now again I am writing. So it is like RAM. Whatever you store in the RAM, it is there for a small time, and after that it is lost from the RAM memory. But in ROM, whatever you will store, it will be permanently saved and you cannot erase that. Now next one in your book, it is given about external memory. Secondary memory, I have already explained. Secondary memory is large memory. Why we need secondary memory? Because primary memory is small. So to extend the size of the storage part of the computer, we require secondary memory. And there are some examples of secondary memory, some devices of secondary memory, like hard disk. Hard disk, it is present inside the computer. Okay, one device is there like this. This is your hard disk, and it can store 2 TB of data. 2 TB means 2 terabyte of data. It is like this. It has one plate on it. Metal plate is there, and on this metal plate all the data is stored. And this is the main storage part of the computer. Most of the computer use hard disk for storing the data. And nowadays, you can also carry the hard disk from one place to another. But before, the hard disk were present only inside the CPU. But now you can carry the hard disk also from one part to another. Next storage, secondary storage device. This is your secondary storage device. Now next secondary storage device is CD. CD you all have seen. CD is like this. And full form of CD is compact disc. It can store only 700 MB of data, and this CD, the size of the diameter of the CD is 4.7 inches. This size, this length of the CD is 4.7 inches, and it can store only 700 MB of data. Next storage device is your DVD. DVD stands for digital video disc. Now CD and DVD both are same, both look same. Now what is the difference? CD stores 700 MB of data and DVD can store 4.7 GB to 17 GB of data. This is the main difference between CD and DVD. Means CD is small, it stores only small data, that is 700 MB, and DVD can store 4.7 GB, means large amount of data, to 17 GB. And both are same in shape, like this, circular, 4.7 inches diameter, both are having. So only this is the difference. CD stores less data and DVD stores large amount of data. Now next secondary storage device given in your book is Blu-ray disc. Now what is this Blu-ray disc? Blu-ray disc is also like disc only for storing the data. The difference is that it uses laser beam, violet color laser beam to store the data. Violet color laser beam is there. Using this it can store the data, and it stores 128 GB of data. It can store 128 GB, means very large amount of data, larger than CD also and larger than DVD also. And this Only one difference is there, that it uses laser violet light, that is also called optical beam. Means laser beam, or you can say optical beam, means one light is there. Using that laser light, the data is read and write into the Blu-ray disc. And this Blu-ray disc is used for storing high quality of sounds, games and movies. It is given in your book. You can read the book, then only you will understand it properly. Okay, Blu-ray disc. Now next one given in your book is flash drive. Flash drive all might have seen. Flash drive is your pen drive. Pen drive all might have seen, and all might be having flash drive. Flash drive is nothing, it is your pen drive. Pen drive you might have seen. Pen drive is like this, one device is there, and you can insert this inside the CPU, and you can carry the data with this pen drive from one computer to another computer. It is also called plug and play device. Plug and play device means you can easily insert and then you can use, and then again you can take out and you can carry from one place to another. And this flash drive is very small in size. It is very small, very lightweight, removable and rewritable device, means in this you can delete the data, you can store the data, anytime you can change the data in the pen drive, and it can store 2 TB of data, 2 terabyte of data, pen drive, and it's most commonly used. You all might have used this pen drive. Now next secondary storage device is your memory card. Now what is this memory card? This memory card you might have seen in mobile phones. This memory card is used for storing the data. In mobile phone also you are storing pictures, videos and everything. One small card is there like this. You might have seen in most of the mobile phone, one small like this card is there, and it is inserted inside the mobile, and on this data is stored. You can take it out and you can also transfer the data from this card to computer like this. You can attach it to the mobile phone or you can attach it to the computer also. And last topic given in your book is about computer ports. Now what are these computer ports? These computer ports are present on the back side of the CPU. If you have seen the CPU, if you see the back side of the CPU, it has some ports. Some space is there where you can insert the cables of different devices. These are called ports of the CPU. So if you have not seen, you can see in the CPU on the back side of the CPU, these ports are there. USB ports, mouse port, keyboard ports, where you insert the plugs of these devices. These are called computer ports. So this computer port is used only for connecting the other devices to the computer. Like you might have seen in your homes also, plugs are there using which you connect the devices to the electricity. Like this in CPU, these ports are there. Using these ports you can insert any devices. Now this chapter only this much is given. First you read the chapter properly, okay, and then whatever I have explained, listen to that, and if any confusion is there, you can contact to me and I will solve your problems. Thank you.